I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello everybody, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Player ratings time for Leicester City 2, West Ham 1. Yeah, it was just one of them days where, you know what, it is what it is, but we will move on. I'm here doing the player ratings on me lonesome tonight, so you know, if you want to help me, by all means do help me in the chat, and it will be greatly appreciated. Right, let's get into this, and let's start off with this man, Lucas Fabianski. Oh dear, where do I start? The first goal, I think he gets done right. It's a good goal from Barnes, but I think he could save that. Fabianski, I think he was all right today. I wouldn't say he was like amazing, but what would I give Fabianski today? I don't really remember Leicester having to have like loads of shots where he's making loads of saves. Obviously, he hit the ball out of his net twice, so I've got to be fair and reasonable on that. I'm going to give Fab a 6, probably out of 10. Yeah, I don't think it was bad, like really, really bad, but I don't think it was absolutely amazing. I think 6 has been a bit generous for me, if I'm being real. What else did he really do today, Fab? Other than that, not a lot. So, yeah, tell you what, quick rating, 6 out of 10 for Lucas Fabianski. Evening, Steve. Hope you're all well. By all means, Steve, please do join in because I'm on my lonesome tonight, as Elvis would say. Right, let's move over to the right-hand side. Vladimir Sufal. Interesting one for me. I thought he dealt with Barnes to a point, but Barnes did score on his side. I will say that. Do you know what I'm saying? Going forward, a couple of decent little moments he had, but nothing really major. Do you know what I'm saying? What am I going to give Kafal? I'll give him a 6. 6 out of 10 for Kafal. I think it was pretty like a standard performance. Well, maybe a 62. All right. I'll tell you what, I'll give him. Yeah, I'll give him a high 5. I can't give him a 6 because we did lose the game and we did concede 2. So yeah, I'll go a high 5 for Kafal. Steve says a 6. A 6 again for Liam. For me, nothing amazing. I agree, it wasn't nothing amazing. I will say that. 5 could have done better for both goals. I think it's hands on about Fabianski. Yeah, just one of them ones really. A 5. And evening, James. Evening, Lawrence. All the way from the US of A. Need big name players. Yes, we do, mate. High 5 for Kafal for me. I think I'll make that pretty short and sweet with him. Moving on to Cresswell, who is this man. Aaron Cresswell got subbed off on the 71st minute. Not a lot of action where he went down his side today. Well, I'll be honest. Like when I think about Cresswell today, what did he have to do really? Like defensively, I thought he was all right. I don't think it was too bad. I think everything he done okay. What am I going to give Cresswell today? I'll give Cresswell a 6. A strong 6 at that. I don't think he was that bad today. Do you know what I'm saying? The goal is on Kafal's side, not on his side for the first one. The second goal, Guerda and Rice, is just terrible. So yeah, I'll give Cresswell a 6 out of 10. Lawrence says a 5. Steve Bell says a 6. Yeah, I'm looking at a 6 with him. I'm just like, there was nothing amazing. I tell you what did irritate me today. A few of these sort of crosses were a bit all over the place, really. Do you know what I'm saying? Not really sort of pinpoint, to say the least. And if he's crossing ain't up to it, then, you know, it is one of them. Tough because, like you say, he didn't have a lot to go on his side. Yeah, I think a 6 is about where I'm at with him. So, yeah. And says, okay, but needs to get his crossing back to how it was, 6. A bit shit. Liam goes with a 6. 6 out of 10 for Liam. 6 out of 10 for me for Aaron Cresswell. Right, let's go to the one centre half, which was this man, and it is Naif Aguerd. Irritating today. Irritated me again today, Aguerd, yeah? On one hand, on the ground, he's very good, very good. A ball come over the top. Iniacho was onto it. Iniacho played it with the wrong foot, mind. But if he plays it with his left foot, then Aguero's in trouble. I think he plays with his right foot and allows Aguero to get back, get round him, and clear the ball away. On the ground, now for Aguero is very good. In the air, he's starting to drive me mad. The second goal is careless from him and Rice. How one of them lads has not headed that ball away is borderline a crime. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get your ratings first on him today, yeah? Because I am a bit mixed with him. I do like Nathan Aguero. I know he's a decent player there. I just know it. I've seen worse defenders at West Ham than him. And he ain't that bad, right? He's a pretty decent player, yeah? So let me get your ratings first on Aguero. Anne says a 5. Lawrence has gone with her and said a 5. He's not playing well last several matches. Steve's gone with a 5. Liam says a 5. What am I going to go with? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with you. You know that 5 out of 10 for me. I make it a strong sort of middle of the road 5, like 5.5. But yeah, like it's just what's going on with Aguero, man. Like what is going on? He has to be on the ball against Fiorentina. I will say that because they've got pace all around him. But balls into the box, he's starting to become very iffy. He shouldn't be like that. He's had some good moments, but he's not. But he's got dodgy moments too. 5.5 for Nicky. I agree, 100% on that. Pretty standard where I'm at also. So I go 5.5 for Naif Aguerd. Let's move on to this man, Tilo Kehrer. Another one that sort of. Did he play bad today or what? Like, I don't think he really did. It was like defensively, they were iffy in moments, all of them. But like he wasn't. I thought he weren't too bad today. Is it his natural position? No, he's not a centre half in a 4. Never has been. Right? In a 3, okay, but in a 4, not for me. I agree with what Lawrence just says there. 6 playing pretty much better of late. I agree on that. Nicky's gone with a 6. Richard's gone with a 6. I think I'm with you on that. I think he's not a 5. I thought Aguero was a bit poorer than him, and obviously he's at fault for the second goal. Yeah, I'll make this pretty short and sweet. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I do like Tilo. I liked him when we signed him. He arrived, and then he just fell off the edge of a cliff. He's slowly starting to become the player that PSG signed. When PSG signed this man from Schalke, yeah, they turned around and said that he's going to be a really, really good player for them. He didn't. He was at PSG for a good while, and then West Ham's obviously picked him up. And what we paid for him, £10 million. If we can get some sort of decent sort of comeback from him, then we've got a good player there. We really have. So yeah, make it short and sweet. 6 out of 10 is pretty good for me. Right, let's go into the midfield area and let's start off. This is going to be interesting. Flynn Downs. Right, where do I start? Right, let's take my personal feelings away from Flynn Downs, right? And let's judge him on today's performance. Today's performance for me wasn't great. It wasn't great at all, right? It was just, it was just a standard, boring sort of, that's all he can do, sideways and back passing game, yeah? But that's what we've signed. We've signed a sort of steady Eddie in midfield, right? In Flynn Downs, he's not going to blast his way through into sort of like a Declan Rice mold. It just isn't going to happen for me. Yeah, I wouldn't say like he wasn't good today. I will say that he's tidy, and I agree with what Rich says. I don't agree with Rich rating mine as a 7. I don't think he's a 7. He is tidy on the ball, but I think fans want to see more of him and do more. Like he has to sort of do more, moving the ball forward rather than back. Yeah, that's one thing I will say. What am I going to rate him? Like, let me get your ratings first, and then I will see if I agree. Lawrence has gone with a 5, straight in there. He's on about Tilo there. What am I going to rate him? Flynn Downs. Oh, I'm going to rate him. I'm going to rate him a high 5. For me, I don't think he's a 6. I don't think he's lower than a 5. I think he was steady today. He done a good interception. I remember it in the second half where Leicester were in and he sort of got the ball, picked it up, a bit like Declan Rice, how Deck does it. he's got to influence the game more. And Steve just literally takes the words literally out of my mouth. Like literally, he's thinking exactly what I'm saying. He has to influence the game more. Like Paqueta, when I kept saying about Paqueta has to influence the game more, so does Flynn. But the problem is with Flynn needs to play consistently over a long period of time. Maybe you can get a fair assessment of him over that sort of time. But for me, just he's got to be more forward thinking. That's the way I look at it. So a high 5, just not a 6. And says Downs did his job okay, considering he doesn't get many games. 6 for Anne on that. Nicky has gone with a 6. He was a 6. He did better than usual. His passes were slightly more forward thinking, and he was more aggressive. Well, he's always been aggressive. Like he loves a puncher. For God's sake, Finn Downs is a championship player at the very best. Sean, we all know. You know what I mean? But it's the end of the season ratings, Sean. I mean, chill out, bruv. So yeah, 6, 5, high 5 for me for Flynn. Let's move on to the captain of the ship, and it's this man, Mr. Declan Rice. Do you know what? I was quite shocked with Deck today, really. Yeah, it's very aggressive today, Declan. All right, every time he was like in the referee's ear. I remember one foul he didn't get from Iniacho, yeah, where basically he didn't even touch him, right? Or he won the ball and he went into the player, but it was like minimal contact. I mean, like stupid minimal contact, yeah. He goes down, he gets a free kick. Like it's like, what is going on? Do you know what I'm saying? What did he do going forward today, Deck? Not a lot, really. Defensively, positional play was pretty good, yeah. But other than that, there wasn't a lot else there. If I'm speaking the honest truth, do you know what I'm saying? So I think maybe he just sort of played with the handbrake on, which is right. Right, he's obviously thinking about Prague. I'm going to give him a high 6 out of 10. I think that's me being kind, if I'm being honest. So, you know, high 6 out of 10 for me. Let's see what you've got to say. Right. 7 for Lawrence. 6. Steve. 6 for Steve also. Spent the game moaning. 6. I agree on that. I really do. Right. Let's have a look. No, anyone else for Declan Rice ratings? No chance. Rice was a 6. 6 out of 10 for Nicky, and we shall move on to where is he? Where is the man? Let's start off with this man, Lucas Paqueta. Right, today missing in action for me. This is the one fear that I do have with him. Right now, let's be honest. If he turns up in Prague and runs the show and wins us the cup, then we can all look at him and go, "Wow, what a player!" Yeah. Last week he was excellent. This week he was nowhere to be seen. He was literally, as Nev says it there, a ghost. For me, that's a bit of a concern, right? Because he's never 2 weeks the same. That's the only problem with him. Like 1 week he's very good. 1 minute you don't really see him. I'm being honest today. I thought he was non-existent today from the get-go. Right? I don't remember him doing anything of any note. Like I don't like sit here and go, "Wow, he was amazing." Yeah. So listen, I'm going to give him a standard 5 today because I think he was just standard. Yeah. Was he bad? I won't say he's bad, but he just wasn't involved. Like he just didn't do anything. Do you know what I'm saying? The inconsistency is a problem for me because when he's good, he's red hot. When he's bad, he's nowhere to be seen. And he doesn't put in bad performances like lackluster performances. But when I say he's bad, I mean you just don't see him. You just do not see the geezer at all. Yeah, he's there, but he's not there. So you know, it just wasn't his day today. So I give him a standard 5. He's probably saving himself. Also, he needs runners. Antonio wasn't running much. Fornells was on the right. Rice weren't himself. I agree with Nicky on that. The whole team was playing non-aggressive. Agree on that. 5. Paqueta had his mindset on Prague. 5. Lawrence has gone a bit higher instead of 6. Nicky's gone 5.5. He's gone for the middle of the road 5. Do you know what I'm saying? He ain't going to pull the strings like that every week. or every game, not for West Ham anyway. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So yeah, wasn't his day today. I'll give him a standard 5 out of 10. I don't really think he done anything amazing, but I don't think he done anything bad. It was just standard performance. Right, let's go over to one side of the attack and let's start off with this man, Saeed Benrahma. He got subbed off on the 60th minute. I can understand it. Like, hit the post today. Does a lot of good work, Benny. Yeah, which doesn't really get a lot of mention. He done a great pullback in the first half. He's on the byline. He comes inside. He lays the ball off to Antonio, and Antonio spoons it over the bar. People will criticise Benrahma for not doing a lot, right, and really not doing a lot. And I'll be honest today, he wasn't great today. Like, he wasn't amazing. But what he does do, he gives a simple pass to Antonio, and Antonio puts it in Rosette. But no one will mention that, like, about Benrahma. For me today, he had a great effort in the second half, and they hit the post before he got subbed off. I'm going to give Benny a strong 6. It's just not a 7 for me. I don't think he done enough to warrant the 7. I think he was good in moments, but in the grand scheme of the game, he just, and he was only on for an hour, so I'll give him a 6 out of 10. So to make it sort of like a strong 6, close to a 7, but just not quite for him. He was unlucky not to score today. He did a fair bit of helping out the defence. 6. He hit the post. Benny a 6 for Steve Bell. Lawrence is a 7 for Benny. Wish he made the shot. Yeah, I know it was an unlucky effort. I've got to be honest. Nicky says 6.5. Benrahma kept the ball well. He didn't lose the ball. Kept the ball moving. Yeah, I agree on that. One thing with Benny, he does like to. For how much people criticise the man, he gets the ball and he moves it forward. He doesn't go back before he has to go forward. Richie's going for a 5. A 5 out of 10. But a 6 is fair. Yeah, I'll give him a strong 6. I thought he was pretty okay for the time he was on the pitch, if I'm being honest. Right, let's go over to the other side. Where is he? Here he is. The man reborn. Pablo Fornals. I said a few weeks ago that we should sell him because he's not doing enough, right? Since then, he scored a goal in Europe and then he scored a goal today. The goal today is pretty good. Even though the goalkeeper should save it at his near post. For me, it's a decent strike. It's on target. It's hit the post. It's gone in. Fair play. Before I sort of round it up with him, I look at him today and I think he could be starting in Prague. That's one thing I will say. I look at him and I think, you know what, you've got a fair shout to start in Prague. Who he starts for is another question. Because as a left-sided attacker, he's just not that. Yeah, he's never has been that, and he never will be a left-sided winger, attacker, etc. As a 10, he's pretty decent. As a sort of third central midfielder, he's pretty good. But as a left-sided player, he's just not. For me, he just hasn't got the pace to get down there and do his bits. Do you know what I'm saying? I thought he was all right today, Fornals. I will be honest. Right, everyone knows, he's not my most favourite player, but he's done pretty well recently. I will give him that. I think it would not surprise me if he starts in Prague. Right, I've just got a feeling that he's on form and he's starting to sort of come together. Let me get to your ratings before I rate him myself. And says a 7. He scored a good goal. I agree. Just for the finish, he's a good player. He needs to be more balanced team where he's not a winger. I totally agree with Nicky on that. 8 for Lawrence. 8 for Fornals. Best attacker today. Should have had 2 goals. Agree on that. A 7 for Steve. 6/7 from Richard. First half 5, second half 7.5, overall 7. Lawrence has given us a £10 super sticker. Thank you very much, Lawrence. $9.99 all the way from the USFA. Thank you very much, sir. Right, where are we? Let's go down to here. And that's it on the Fornals. Yeah, listen, to round it up from me, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think he's improved. I think he's massively improved in a short space of time. Let's be honest, this man was non-existent for most of the season. And now he's starting to become a player that we all know that he can be. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got a feeling, as I just said, I think he starts in Prague. I think he's the one on form at the minute. And if he does start in Prague, then you've got to play him as a 10. You have to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think if you play on the left, he gets a lot of criticism for playing out of position, which is rightfully so. He's obviously got to do more. But, when he plays as a 10, I think he's a decent player. So, yeah, I'll give him a 7 out of 10 for him. Let's move on to the striker. Where is he? Mikel Antonio. Right, where do I begin with this man? Right. Yesterday, I watched a man for Coventry City, Gyökeres, hold the ball up brilliantly. Ball comes to him, sticks to him like glue, turns, runs, everything. The ball goes up to Antonio today, it just bounces off him. Literally bounces off him. West Ham need to go and get Gyökeres from Coventry City, and they need to do it lively. He was a signing, I'm sure, from Brighton, and Brighton know how to find players. And I think Gyökeres would be the ideal player for Antonio. Don't get me wrong, I was worried about Antonio today because I didn't want him to get injured. It wasn't his day today, Antonio, granted. He had a shot in the first half, and second half, he didn't really do a lot, and he got subbed, right? But let's not talk about the sub just yet. But for Antonio today, I'm going to give him a 5 because he just wasn't good enough today. Like, he just didn't really offer anything, really, if I'm being real. And if you're not going to offer anything up front, then how are we supposed to score any goals? So I'll give him a high 5. It just wasn't his day, I will be honest. For the second half, yes, but first half he was non-existent. Antonio will be 34 next season. His career's almost over. Can we rely on Scamacca? Not in a minute. Antonio poor, a 5. 5 for Steve Bell. Antonio garbage today. Thinks he was saving himself for the final, to be honest. He didn't look arsed. He shouldn't have started today. And listen, I was going mad, and I was getting a lot of Twitter hate, because I said about Antonio shouldn't have, why has he gone so strong today, boys? It's worked out okay because no one's injured. But, he shouldn't have started. I'm being nice. The weather is good, so I'm in a good mood. Fair enough. 5, I thought he was bang average. I agree with you on that. Right, so what am I going to rate him? I'm going to rate him a 5. I think I've just said a 5, but I'll say it again. 5 out of 10, standard performance, needs to improve for Fiorentina. Where are the goals coming from next season? I will talk about next season shortly, Mandy. Just want to get through these. Right, let's go to subs. Right, this is going to be interesting, this one. Because where is he? Here he is. Mr. Danny Ings. Listen, I've seen people rob banks and get away with gold bullion. Aston Villa have got away with a player and must have seen us coming. Trust me, absolutely criminal, daylight robbery. I can't believe, and I'm going to go in on him now. How bad this geezer really is. Right, he's absolutely fucking shit. I can't lie. He comes to West Ham. He scores goals at Southampton. He scores goals at Bournemouth, Burnley, Liverpool, fucking Villa. He comes to West Ham and he can't even hit the target. And the only time he can score is from 4 or 5 yards out. I am going to rate him a 2 out of 10. And that is me being fucking kind. For just putting the shirt on, coming on, playing in the claret and blue and giving it everything that you can other than hitting the fucking target. I listen, I don't understand who signed this man. I really don't. We've been mugged. I agree with what Steve's saying there, right? And Richard got it absolutely spot on. Richard said he's not the player that we thought. I got a bit gassed when he scored a few goals against Forest. WestHamOnline got it literally bang on the money with Ings. Absolutely. Fucking 2, mate. I'm sorry, but he's got to do more. Listen, if you're a goal poacher or you're going around in that way and you're going to play that sort of way for West Ham, you've got to at least hit the fucking target once. Do you know what I'm saying? And the first chance that he has, I'm sorry, but fuck me. He's got to hit the target. It's an open goal, right? And he spoons it over the bar. The second one, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. It's an half chance, but he should still hit the target. I'm not saying it's going to go in, but if he hits the target, then great. But what does he really do? He's on a lot of money. I think we've got a Yarmolenko situation all over again. If you want me to be real, I think we're going to have a player on a lot of money that we ain't going to be able to shift. And he's just going to wind his contract down at West Ham. I think we've been sold one, if I'm being honest. No, he's just not good. I'm going to see what everyone says in the chat. and says Ings gets a 2 for turning up. Even Brindle, one of the misses. Yeah, I know. Absolute terrible. Absolute terrible. Lawrence says a 2. He's just not good, is he? Let's be real. Ings 5. I'm being nice again. Reece says it there. 125k a week. And this is what irritates me with West Ham United Football Club. They won't go and sign a youngster for 25 million who's on like 30 to 60 grand in that bracket, but they'll go and sign Danny Ings for 125 grand a week, and the geezer's just sitting there and he can't even like chilling, basically. Do you know what I mean? Terrible. So yeah, I'll make this pretty short and sweet with him. Absolute awful. One of the worst signings of the summer, and we've been sold one really. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's go next. Jared Bowen. I'm going to give him a standard 5. He wasn't really. He was on. He came on the 62nd minute, so he was on for like 28 to sort of 35 minutes. Didn't really do a lot, if I'm being honest. Like, runs at people well. I'm glad he had a rest today, I will say that. I think he needed to have a little break at present. And do you know what? The rest might do him good. So, yeah, I'll give him a standard 5 out of 10 for him. Let's go to the next man, which is Emerson. The problem is with Emerson, I'll get the rating out of the way. Yeah, again, I think it'd be 5 for him also. The problem is with Emerson, going forward, I like him. I do, because he gets up the pitch and he pushes West Ham up the pitch. He does it better than what Cresswell does it. Do you know what I'm saying? The problem is with the geezer, and it's the same problem that we had with Arthur Mazawaku, is he can't defend. And when he can't defend, we've got a problem. Cresswell can cross a ball, but his defending abilities, if you to say the least. The only thing between sort of the Emerson-Cresswell debate is that, for me, Cresswell doesn't get up the pitch as much as Emerson. Emerson does. And they're pretty similar in ways, right? But one's got a better cross than the other one, and the other one gets up the pitch better than the other one. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to give him a standard 5 on that. I'll just see what the user got to say. Lawrence says a 5.5. Anderson about Bowen a 5. Emerson a 5. 5. A lot of 5s in here. Evening, Keith. Hope you're all well, mate. Hope you're all well. So, yeah, standard 5s all round for Emerson as the sub. Let's go to the next man, right? He made an appearance. I'm pretty gutted he didn't start, which is Maxwell Cornet. It's been an up and down season for him, let's be real. He arrived at West Ham from Burnley, and let's be honest, a lot of fans were really pumped about him being here. So was I. I was like, you know what? Yeah, he could do some damage for us this year. Then he goes and catches a illness of some sort that is like the most rarest thing on the planet, and he's been out of action for a bit. Since he has come back, he hasn't been the same Cornet. I think we'll know more about Cornet next season rather than this season. Didn't really do a lot, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give him a standard 5. He's another standard 5, standard performance. Didn't really do a lot. I don't know what's worse, Ings or Cornet. I think Cornet gets benefit of that because of his problems this season. So standard 5 for Maxwell Cornet. Right, let's leave it to the last man, and what a man he has been for us. Manuel Lanzini, his last appearance in the Premier League for Manuel Lanzini. Shame, really, what a player he's been. Manuel Lanzini. He's done some great moments for West Ham over the years. Like, he's been with West Ham for quite a long time, from Upton Park to Stratford, to sort of fighting relegation to Europe. And you know what? If West Ham do go and win it in Prague, it'd be nice to see him win some silverware with West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying? He's had a lot of injuries to come back from. He's had a lot of bad injuries to come back from. There was moments where he could have left West Ham years ago and been a player who could have went on to bigger and better things, but he stayed with West Ham. He did. And you know what? He loves the club to death. Yeah. And if he does go back to Argentina or whatever, good luck to him. Good luck to him. He's been a very, very good servant. He's been in teams where West Ham had some shit players, and he's been like the bright spark in there. Do you know what I'm saying? And the final year at the Boleyn will be one to remember for him, because he was fucking fantastic. Do you know what I mean? When you see him and Pyatt together, they were good. I agree with what Reece says there. Shame that his legs have gone. Quality player. And he has been a quality player. And then when we signed him from, I think it was the Saudi Arabia League, yeah, We all probably thought, who we signing is like another one of like Sullivan's like master strokes. But I'll be honest, he's been a great servant to West Ham, and he will always be remembered, Lanzini, for that goal against Spurs in COVID. That's how I will remember him. That goal at the Tottenham Stadium, that 3-3 comeback in COVID in the October fucking cold, will stay with me till the day I go, mate. Absolutely, because he's just a top class player. I'm going to rate him a 10 today. I am, because he come on the pitch and it's his last game. Fuck it, but yeah, that moment will stay with me forever. And anytime you ever feel sad or down about anything, what's that clip of that goal going into the top corner, mate? Trust me, it'll always be remembered. So, Manuel Lanzini, thank you for your time at West Ham, mate, in the Premier League. Mark is in the house. Lanzini, loyal to the end. Come on, you irons. Thank you very much, Mark. Mike, hope you're well, mate. Manu, sad to see the geezer go. One of our most technical players in recent times. Totally agree with that. And as Lawrence says, it was a great moment against Spurs. It was, mate. It really, really was. Right. Let's move on to, where is he? This man, the ref. For me, today the ref was shit. Simon Hooper, I think his name was. And amount of fouls that he got completely wrong. There was a foul on Maddison where Deck didn't even touch him. He falls over and gives a foul. There was another foul where Declan Rice clearly wins the ball and he goes into Iniacho, but it's not a foul. It's never, ever a foul. And he gives it a foul. Couple of stupid little fouls. There was a time when Maddison was down on the floor. It's not a head injury, but he stops play. Things like that were just doing my nutting. I'm going to give the ref a 4 out of 10. I thought he was crap, if I'm being realistic. Reece, I agree with Reece 100% there. Woeful. The Iniacho one was awful. And it was so bad, that one. If you go back and watch it on Match of the Day tonight or whatever, and they get a free kick from that, and I think that's when Iniacho hit the crossbar, if I remember rightly. Yeah. Go back and watch the foul tonight if it is shown. It's never a foul ever, and they give it. So, yeah, I'll give him a 4. Absolute awful. Do you know what I mean? Ref, what the fuck was he seeing? 4. I agree with Steve Bell 100% there, mate. And Ans comes in with the same 4. A ref gets a Lucas 4, 100%. Right, let's move on to the final rating of the evening, people. This man, Mr. David Moyes. Right, I will start off with giving my rating for him today. I'm going to give Moyes a 7. Yeah, he's rotated it today, but I thought the team was just too strong. Too strong today. If that team would have been mixed up with players, like if Maxwell Cornet would have started, Lanzini would have started, let's have a think, who else is on the bench there? Bonner started, I could have understand the result. Right, I really could. Right, I could have gone, you know what? Like the result, we've lost the game. I can understand that. Yeah. To go that strong today is a bit of a concern to me. Not playing Alfonso Areola, who, let's be honest, in 10 days' time has got the biggest game in a West Ham shirt. If he starts, is another crime, I think. Like, I think Areola should have started today. Yeah. Why he's sitting on the bench when, let's be honest, we've got a bigger game in 10 days and we need him match sharp. And people say about being match sharp. Well, our goalkeeper's not match sharp at the minute. So that's a bit of a problem. I think playing the 2 right backs, one at centre half and one at right back, is just, I don't understand that. Why couldn't Bonner have played this game? Like, there's just a lot of issues today where I just look at him and think, Moyes, what are you trying to do there? I know people say about momentum, but what's the momentum now? We've been beaten. We haven't really given anything. So we haven't really lost anything, really, by playing a few youngsters and all that. So I don't understand it today. I really don't with the team selection, yeah. There should have been other players who could have played who he's thinking ain't going to start in Prague, yeah? And to only rest sort of 2 or 3 players when, let's be honest, if any of them players would have got an injury today, everyone would have went mad. Like, for how bad Mikel Antonio was today, if he gets injured, then everyone's down in the dumps. We are so happy to be out of Leicester tonight with no injuries. Do you know what I mean? That's the one thing I will say, yeah? So we've got to weigh it up for what it is. I think Fornell's playing today was good. Like, he's obviously seen something there with him. He's found a love for Fornells again. It was interesting today to see Fornells, Paqueta and Ben Rama together. didn't really work for me. I think for me, Fornells and Paqueta can't play in the same team together, in my opinion. I've always said that because they're two similar players. Yeah, one's either very good and one's awful, or they're both awful. Do you know what I'm saying? They're never really both good together. I've gone with a 7, or maybe I'm being a bit high there. I think I'm going to change that. I'm going to give him a 6 because I'm just looking at some of the stuff that we done today. Like in the first half, I don't think we done anything. After the 25th minute, we didn't have a shot on target for a long time. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I'll give him a 6 out of 10, and that's me being kind. Steve Bell says a 5. Mandy's not happy. She's called him an arrogant idiot. It's very true, Mandy. I must admit. Do you think Fab will start in the final? I think he will. I think if he doesn't start, let's be honest, before I get to everyone's ratings, if he doesn't start, then I don't see the logic in it. I really don't. Like if Areola starts in 10 days' time, where's Areola's match sharpness? And people on social media will be all over Areola if he makes a howler, but then Moyes could have played him in the game today, which means nothing. Like he hasn't got to play Fabianski today unless he's playing Fabianski for the final. That's the only thing I can think of. Do you know what I'm saying? So, Moyes from Lawrence gets a 6. I had like 6 double bets for Downs and 6 other players to be booked, and Downs didn't get a card, unlike him. I lost all mine today. Don't gamble, Mike. You know what I mean? I did call the 2-1, Mike, so yeah, I was right. Moyes gets a 10 if he leaves at the end of the season, but today's a 3 for his negative tactics once again. Right. I'm going to sort of round it up with that, and then we will talk about West Ham in the future, obviously. I'm going to round it up with this sort of 6 out of 10 for Moyes, basically, and wasn't great today, but is what it is. It's all about Prague. Right. Let's talk about the future and West Ham. Obviously, in 10 days' time, it's going to be one of the biggest games in West Ham's recent history. Right? It's going to be up there with the 2006 FA Cup final, the 1980 FA Cup final, and it's a big moment for West Ham. West Ham win that, they're back in Europe, and we can go out and scout about for top players who want to play European football. Yeah. The only thing I don't like, and I had this argument with many West Ham fans, is the style of play. All right, I don't like the way West Ham just sit there and wait for teams just to come onto us, and we try and hit them on the break. Today, I'll be honest with you, defensively, we was not good at all. Right, and when I look at our defence today, and I look how it is structured, Aguerd's going to start in Prague. That's one. Cresswell's probably going to start in Prague. That's the other one. And then you've got 2 other positions where you're going to say Zuma's going to start as centre half, and then you've got the right back position of either Kufal or Kera. Now, we're going to have to be on it better against Fiorentina because they've got some decent players, trust me. Some of their players are no mugs, and they're no Leicester City at the end of the day, right? They will come and they will give it a go. Obviously, Moyes is going to pinpoint that sort of Prague now, and everyone's going to advance onto Prague. And let's just hope, for the love of God, that we end up getting the right result in Prague. Do you know what I mean? I do believe West Ham will beat Fiorentina. I don't know why, but I've always said, ever since the Manchester United game, I said that's the time to get on West Ham, because I do believe West Ham will do the job. Fiorentina have a game on the Sunday, I think it is, and then on the Wednesday they play us. Now, I said it on the afterthought, and I say it on here right now. Anyone who wants to have a bet next week, get on Sassuolo to beat Fiorentina. Fiorentina will rest all their players. And they will have a makeshift side against Sassuolo away from home. There is no way that they're going to go the same strength as that we have gone today. Maybe going that today sort of might kick people up the arse a little bit. Maybe, just maybe. But other than that, I need to see something in the next sort of 10 days to be ready for them. Do you know what I mean? Like the right back situation has to be addressed. Like it's either going to be Kufal or Kera. Now, for me, Kera's been great in recent games. Yeah, I don't think he was even that bad today, really, when I think about it. But Safal is going home, and what's more important, like Safal being in Prague or Kera being there where we could possibly win. So the right back situation is a problem for us, which is a good problem because they're both pretty decent. And for me, whoever goes there, I have faith in. In midfield for me in Prague, and I'll be doing shows all next week with loads and loads of people that I've got coming on. So I will be talking about it a bit more, but I'll talk about it in there. I think Fornals, if he plays, he has to play to 10. I really do. I think if you're going to play sort of Rice, Paqueta, Souček, then you might have to play like a sort of a 4-3-1-2 system, like with like two up front. If Fornals plays, I think Fornals is in the firing line to start. I really do. And it would not surprise me if that man starts in Prague. The way he's playing at the minute, he's playing pretty decent. And people say about Ben Rama, but Ben Rama, if he is a sub, I won't be disappointed because I know he will be on the pitch. And if the game does go to penalties, he's a sort of man that you want because you know he's guaranteed to score 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. Let's get to this from Steve Bell, as always. Thank you very much, Steve W.H.U. Bell. Never been so pleased to see the back of a league season. Been a long and disappointing season. Let's hope we can win in Prague, make up for it. Come on, Johans. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely do agree. 100% on that. It has been a long season. It's been a draining season, yeah? When I think about when I started it August last year, I just got over the 1,000 mark in subscribers, yeah? And I'm itching closer to 2,000. It's been a grind, don't get me wrong. But this season's been long, man. I can't wait for the Prague game to finish, wrap it all up, and come that Saturday, I'm having a month off because I've just, like, thinking about West Ham has just drove me mental. You know what I'm saying? There's been many arguments on this channel and many disagreements with players and heated player ratings and all that. And some of the games that I do remember, and I will be doing a sort of like Premier League review and going through every single game. Yeah. But, you know, it has been hard going. If West Ham do win the conference, it papers over the cracks for me. It does. Like, it papers over the moment of saying, you know what, we've had a shit season, but we've got away with it. If we lose against Fiorentina, then it's been a pretty awful season from where we've been. And it is very much black and white. I actually do believe, before I get to some comments, before I wrap up, I actually do believe if Moyes wins it, I think he stays. I think if Moyes loses it, I think he's gone. And I do believe, I think it is that black and white. There is no grey for me on that. Do you know what I'm saying? I think you can't sack him if he wins it because he'll be the first one to win it in 43 years. And a new manager coming in, what more can he do currently what Moyes can't do right now? Do you know what I'm saying? If he loses it, then I think he's gone. So then it'd be basically you'd have a manager who just can't get over the line. So that's what I think on that. Let's get to some comments. What I love West Ham. I know you do, mate. I know you do, elite analyst. James, do you need a guest? EA, elite analyst. No, mate, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, mate. But thanks also. Prague is massive. If we don't win and don't get Europe again, in my opinion, it's been a shit season, gone backwards. I agree. I really do. What we got? It hasn't been enjoyable outside of Europe. I agree. I agree with that. All of that, James. Yeah. One was down to the end of his contract, then refreshed with a young manager. I think what it is, whatever happens with West Ham, sort of as of now to sort of next season, I think Prague obviously is massive in like more ways than one. Like not only for just to win the cup, but to get back into Europe. Yeah. If it goes our way, then I think you can sort of accept it to a point. I'm not happy. I don't want Moyes here. Yeah. I haven't wanted Moyes here since November last year. Yeah, I said that Moyes just isn't cutting it for me. Yeah. But when you sort of go out and we go and win the conference, then what are the ambitions of the new manager? Like when Moyes can basically be the same manager as he was this season. And if we get a top 10 finish and a good cup run in the Europa League, then, you know, it's all good. But for me, I just think it's very black and white in Prague. I think Prague, not only for the cup and the Euro, I think it's for Moyes also. I think Moyes has took the piss on certain things this season. I will say that. I think he took the piss in numerous times with the fans, like trying to like dig out the fans when you shouldn't do that. I know the fans have dug him out and all, which is isn't right, but they are entitled to say how they feel. And obviously, when the banner went up against Fulham and the people were chanting for Moyes out, I can understand the frustration to a point because they're looking at it and thinking, yeah, the Conference League's been great, yeah, and we've done very, very well in the Conference League. But as West Ham United Football Club and an established Premier League side, let's be honest, we've been in the Premier League for over 11 years now. We should be at least getting to the semi-final of our conference. Like, we should. Do you know what I'm saying? And with the teams that we've played, like, we shouldn't have lost any of these games, and we haven't. Do you know what I mean? We've only drew one game away from running out against Ghent. So, you know, for me, it's very black and white with Moyes. And if he does stay, he has to improve himself. Not only West Ham, but he has to prove himself. Like, as in, like, have a style of play that when you go to these top six sides, we're going there to win. We're not going there to defend for our lives. And the argument I have, and someone said it to me the other day, which I made them 100% right, they turned around and said to me, I've seen managers who are caretaker managers do what Moyes can't do and go to a top six side and win. Southampton's caretaker manager went to Chelsea and won. And West Ham are playing other teams like Arsenal this year, going 1-0 up and fall apart. Who else was there? Manchester United, literally sitting there waiting for them to score. Liverpool was another one where West Ham missed a penalty. It just wasn't meant to be. The Tottenham game was the one, though, because obviously, above all games, right, one game that we hate to lose is Spurs, yeah? And when we lost at Spurs and we didn't do nothing, it was just, you know, it was terrible. Do you know what I'm saying? So, Moyes has got to change himself. I will say that. And the stubborn approach has got to change. And he's got to start integrating a few youngsters and all. I think Mbamba has to be more involved next season. You either get him involved or you loan him. It's as simple as that. There's no point having this kid in the under-23s scoring bundles of goals when he, let's be honest, what's he learning in there? He's not learning anything. Like, he'd be better off going to a League One side or a League Two side and smashing in 30 goals and playing week in, week out and developing his game. That's what I honestly believe. So, yeah. Let's have a look at this. Brighton away was the breaking point for me. Staggering about how bad we were. See, that game, I'll never forget that game here on E20, yeah? Because me and Alfie was watching the game. We'd done a live on Twitter, I think it was, and people were going mad. Yeah, and I literally, every time a goal was going in, I had to change the thumbnail. Like the thumbnail for the YouTube video, I had to keep changing like every fucking 5 minutes because another goal was going in, another goal was going in. And I think that one was bad. I think the Newcastle one was embarrassing, especially at home. Obviously, the Manchester United home game, I thought was excellent. And let's be honest, we love to take points off Manchester United. But the Brighton away game, right, against a team where, do you know what? I thought West Ham would turn up there and give them a good game. Yeah, I really did. And I had a feeling West Ham would go there and not put in a performance, which they did do, which was awful. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I remember them two games this season. Obviously, the Nottingham Forest game was a killer at the start of the season because we had a lot of Forest fans, obviously, with Lingard. But this season's been a struggle. It really has. It's been bitty. It's been a struggle. It's been hard work at times, and we've managed to pull ourselves out of like the mist of like relegation. Let's be real. When it was sort of when people were getting worried about getting relegated, there was key games for me. There was a key week in the season where I looked at it and I went, "That is the week where I will know if West Ham are going to go down." And that was the Southampton, Newcastle, and Fulham week. Southampton 1-0 at home, Newcastle 5-1 at home, defeat, and Fulham away 1-0. When I turned around and said 7 points would be acceptable. When we got 6 and other teams dropped points around us, I was like, you know what, we might get out of this. We really will. Do you know what I'm saying? And it got to a stage where I think fans were so worried, scared worried about West Ham going down, that basically they were seeing a negative by it, whereas I was trying to sort of pinpoint the games where we needed to win. Like Brighton. Bournemouth away, we was excellent, but we was only excellent because we scored early and we done the damage against them pretty in the first half. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just one of them ones. Leicester did the double over us, James, and they got relegated. That's a reflection of how bad it has been. I agree on that, but I'll be honest with you, I have to round it up with Leicester. It is a shame about Leicester going down, But I actually called this at the start of the season. I'd done a show with all the lads, and I got laughed at. And I said Leicester will finish in the bottom half at even money. I said it's an absolute steal of a bet. Like anyone who likes a punt, like I do. I looked at the bet. I said even money for Leicester. I looked at their financial problems that they had. There was absolutely printing money on them to be in the bottom half of the table. And I even had a shout for relegation at 14-1. And when I said it, people said no chance that they will be in the relegation. And they end up getting relegated, which I must admit, how I pulled that one out of the bag, I don't know, but it is what it is. So yeah, to sort of round it up, it's been a mad old season. It's been a good Premier League season. Don't get me wrong. Premier League is going to be different next year. Obviously, with the teams coming up, Burnley are coming back into it. Sheffield United, Luton is going to be a game. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Luton 10 years ago being in like the National League and playing in front of like 4,000 or 5,000. Now they're going to be playing at like Etihad and Anfield and London Stadium, everything. So it's going to be a mad old season. It is a shame to see sort of Leeds go, as like, even though Leeds are, everyone either hates or loves Leeds, but for me, Leeds are like the sort of West Ham of the North. You know what I mean? They are sort of working class team, but they just haven't been good enough. Southampton have been awful this year, and obviously Leicester. So it is mad that Luton are coming to the Premier League party. So next season is going to be interesting. I will say that. And don't worry, it could be Wrexham in a few years. I agree with what Rich says. Maybe Wrexham can do that too. If they keep going the way they're going, mate, anything is possible. I will say that. And finally, I'm going to wrap this up here, yeah? I want to thank everyone in my chat, everyone who's like putting super chats over the course of the season. It's been mad on E20, trust me. It has. Like, it's been a roller coaster of like, emotions. I've had tears of anger. I've had tears of joy. And West Ham this season has drained the fucking life and soul out of me. Do you know what I mean? I will say that. Like, there's been times this season, I'll be real, where I've gone, should I carry on continuing this? Because it's just up and down flow of emotions. 1 minute we're on a high, next minute we're on the ultimate low, and it's not good for the sort of mental health. But I won't ever stop. That's one thing I will say. And I love this club to death, like everyone else in my chat. And on the 7th, it will be another one. It'll either be tears of joy or it'll be tears of sadness, like to say, you know what, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But I'm ready for it like everyone else is, and whatever happens, Premier League wise, we've got to be stronger next season. I think next season we will be all right with the teams that have come to the Premier League and the teams that are already here. I think West Ham will be all right, but I don't want to see West Ham fighting with relegation. I really don't. It's not what West Ham should be. Yeah, and we shouldn't be doing this anymore. Do you know what I mean? And for me, West Ham need to be looking up and away from relegation trouble. They really do. We all need to meet up for a beer. I'll tell you what, Steve, I think I owe you about 500 beers, mate. I will be honest. I want to see you in tears of joy. I feel like I've been taking an emotional journey with you in the last 6 months. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'll be real. Yeah. And I'll do this. Right. One, I'll do this because I love doing it. Yeah. I've done it a lot for only 2 years in September. The other thing is because I do love West Ham. All right, that's one thing I will say. And I love West Ham, and my emotions for this club will be severely tested on the 7th. Like, it's going to be hard for me to keep calm on the 7th, let's put it like that. If West Ham do go and bring home a trophy in 43 years, at least I can say that I lived, like, while I was on this planet, I lived to see West Ham lift a trophy. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is, trust me, life is just too short, trust me. So some things in life you just can't buy, and West Ham winning the trophy is one of them. I will be honest. So yeah, right. I'm gonna say that that's enough from me. And listen, Joe, what to say that about Peach also? It's come up to a year that Peach is no longer with us. Also, that has also gone very, very fast. Right, I was just about to wrap it up, and then Hammerhead puts that about Peach. And do you know what? Wherever Peach is, I hope he's watching down and he's happy. Do you know what I mean? Wherever he is in the universe. Do you know what I'm saying? It's such a shame that he's not here no more. I used to do the streams with him late at night. Absolute mad Canadian. Family from literally round the corner from where I live, and for him not to be here no more with his passing back in July, I think it was July the 22nd, if I remember rightly. It was just such a shame, mate. It was absolutely such a shame. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants to thank you and the lads for all your hard work this season, mate. Yeah, listen, Mark. Listen, I appreciate it from everyone. Do you know what I mean? One thing with me is I'm real. Yeah, I'm not here for. Listen, I will speak to anyone if they speak to me with any decency and respect. I'm literally a working class lad. That's what it is. You know what I mean? I've been brought up by an East London family. We're mad. Let's be real. And for me, it has been hard going this season. Right? I think this season with the World Cup, everything, it's just been non-stop. And I think next season it'd be nice to get back to normality and not not finish it up in the middle of June. Do you know what I mean? So listen, Mark, I really do appreciate it, mate. You know what I mean? Let's all hang out in the final. We'll be worried mid-Jan. Yeah. Let's get to Peach. Right. So he'll be proud, so proud. He'll be having an extra drink on him for the day, especially that's excited for him. Yeah. Yeah, enjoyed all the content, chaps. Let's hope it's tears of joy for the 7th. And I will end it on that. Listen, thank you very much. And thank you for tuning in at 320 for the whole of the Premier League sort of season, player ratings, after thought, previews, etc. Do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. As of tomorrow, I'll be back and I'll be doing like previews, yeah, with fans. I'm getting so many fans on in the lead up to Prague next week. I'm starting off tomorrow with Kane at 7 o'clock, and then I'll be getting on JPWHU TV on at 8:30. And then during the week, I'm going to try and get on Gio from Hammer's Chat. He said he's coming on. I'll get him on. Charlie Walsh, boys from West Ham Fan TV. I'm going to go heavy on this one this week, yeah. I'm going to try my absolute best to get as many people on as possible who I've known for the YouTube game, who I respect for the YouTube game, and people's opinions who I just do respect. I might not agree with them, but I do respect them. So, yeah, check it out on that as of tomorrow. And, yeah, listen, look after yourselves out there, yeah? Life's too short, and obviously you got to treat every day as it's your last because you just never know what's around the corner. But take care of yourselves. All the best. And thank God the Premier League season is over. Come on, you Irons. Peace.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.